everyone, this is Mizrah back in the flesh with Dreams Gone Mobile. Today we're going to be talking about how to start a food truck in just 5 simple steps. All right, the first thing you need to do is decide if you want to do a truck or a trailer. Everything varies depending on your price and what you're looking to do exactly. If you want to be mobile, then I definitely suggest doing the truck. My preference though is always doing a trailer because the only thing you have to worry about is how to maneuver it. Other than that, you would have to focus on getting insurance for your truck. You would have to focus on a bigger build. It's usually a lot more costly as well when you go and get the truck. But when you get a trailer, you don't have to worry about any added costs like I mentioned before, the insurance. So another thing you have to consider is also the mechanicals, which is definitely costly as well. There's a lot of these trucks, like the older trucks, which is like in the 90s and the 2000s that were built. But of course, just like any other vehicle, you have to make sure you're doing the oil changes, you're doing your standard tune-ups. Look out for the year, make, and the model of the vehicle. Trucks like these are standard for delivery. So all these big trucks, they're meant to be in the 200,000, 300,000, even 400,000, 500,000 range when it comes to the mileage. However, depending on the type of truck that you're getting determines on the type of parts you'll need in the future, because again, all the mechanicals have to take into consideration when you're purchasing a food truck versus a trailer. So just be mindful that when you're purchasing a truck, you want to make sure you're getting something that is still in the market, that still has existent parts, because then you're going to look at something that's going to be just a shell with a kitchen that you can't move in the future. All right, so a cool thing about trailers, I will always be biased with trailers because there's not really much negatives when it comes to the trailers. Number one, you can get it in any size. You can purchase it new or used. You can get it custom built. You can do so many different things with trailers. So you have the opportunity to actually do many things with that. A couple things you want to look out for, A couple things you want to look out for though is making sure that if you are getting a used trailer, that it's something that's going to withhold the weight that you're putting into the trailer. So if you're putting any kind of equipment that's heavy equipment, you want to make sure you're doing something like double axles. Now a negative, which I only think is a negative if you don't know how to ride a trailer, is being able to maneuver the trailer itself. So if you don't know how to fishtail, or you don't know how to maneuver the trailer in general, park it, ride it, drive it, what have you, then of course I would highly recommend practicing if you plan to go that route or have someone do it for you. So now that we discussed step 1 on deciding if you wanted a food truck or trailer, now we gotta move on to step 2, which is creating your vision. So think about the things that you wanna cook. Do you wanna cook tacos, burritos? Do you wanna make soul food? Do you wanna make island food? What kind of food are you looking to make, and what do you visualize yourself making? So once you've created that menu, now you're determining what equipment you need. So let's discuss this. The entire food truck setup in here is a taco truck. So they are gonna be doing very little frying, which is fairly common. They're gonna be having a whole bunch of things that they're either cooking or boiling, like rice, beans, things like that. But one of the biggest pieces of equipment that they always get is a flat top, because they're making tacos, they're making quesadillas, they're making burritos. And typically they're cooking all that kind of meat on top of the flat top, and then they're making it to where they're flattening it out, creating their tacos or what have you. So you have an entire layout of everything that's being done inside the taco truck. And another common thing to have inside there is a stock pot, which is this big old pot right over here, which obviously has to be underneath the hood. But the stock pot is made for people who are making big soups, or they're making something that they're boiling, and that's meant for a huge pot where they're boiling some type of ingredient or something that's on their menu. Here's a perfect example of a menu that one of my clients created of what they're actually visualizing, what they're gonna be cooking on their food truck, and what they plan to serve all of their clients. And we also have the floor plan that matches in respective to their menu, where you can see how they plan to lay out their food trailer and what they plan to cook and how they plan to cook those things. Step 3 is purchasing equipment. So there's a lot of brands that you can look out for, but the most common brands that I see are brands like Drago, Serveware, Avantco, you even have Dukers. There are different kinds of brands that specialize for different things. There are brands that solely specialize in cooking equipment, and there's some that also solely specialize in refrigeration units, freezers, and things like that. So it kind of depends on what you're looking for and what you need. If you want to look more into the type of equipment that you need and you want to build your entire food truck out on its own, check out the link below in my bio to see the retailers that I've used in the past and what you can use to purchase your equipment. All right, so step 4 is hiring specialists and contractors. Sometimes there's just things that we just can't do. So plumbing, electrical, gas, there's things that are very dangerous, and if it's done improperly, then it can definitely cause a fire, some type of hazard. You definitely don't want that. You want everything done the right way. So if you don't know how to do something, definitely opt out and hire someone out to do that for you. So things like building walls, cutting out the entire window for your services, everything like that, you wanna make sure you're considering those factors. Plumbing, electrical, gas, and any type of insulation, if you don't know how to do it, again, I'm gonna say it multiple times, hire someone who knows what they're doing. Step 5 is the final step, which is licensing. Make sure you have your LLC established, make sure you have your tax ID, your sales tax certificate, and submit all your paperwork to the state so that you can get an inspection, get your plans approved,